Hey everybody, I know it's late at night, but you know what? I was going to get this out for you. This is Queens we're talking about. Season 1, episode 3. Who you calling a bitch? I was like, okay, I like that one. Who you calling a bitch? I will go off on you. That's right. Well, I'm sorry, like I said, I'm doing this late because y'all know it's election day and I had to work those polls. And I ain't talking about a stripper pole. I'm talking about the POLLS. Bobby J's like, don't even try it. I could work a stripper pole if I needed to, but I don't need to right now. I don't think. Anyhow, I thought this was a real good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. It was all that. I am so invested in this show. What is this? Episode 3? I think this episode was one of the better ones so far. Last week was okay, but I think this one was better. I don't know. Anyhow, y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think. But anyway, let me just go out there and tell y'all I'm shouting y'all out. All of you subscribers and commenters, and y'all know how much I appreciate you guys. And so keep on doing what you're doing. That's all I can say, because I need you guys. I need you. And you know what? And before I go on, I put up something called Church Chat with Sister Junebug. I put up a concert video that I put together for domestic violence and breast cancer awareness, which was last month. But I truly feel we should always talk about it and discuss it. Well, anyway, I want y'all to check it out. Let me know what y'all think about it. I know Lamont has already checked it out, but y'all go ahead and look at it, and I hope y'all enjoy it. It's something that I do because I'm a survivor of both of those causes. So please do me a favor, check out the video, the concert. It's really nice. I have all my singing friends in it. All right. Now, if you have not subscribed to my channel as of yet, please take the time to subscribe now. I would really appreciate it. I would love your support. And if you can, share it. Even at breast cancer video, share that one too. And domestic violence video, whatever. Share my videos so that, we could touch people. I would love to touch a lot of people around the world. So if you know anybody who's dealing with those two causes, domestic violence and breast cancer awareness, please forward my video, that church chat video, over to them. All right. Now, we're going to get into this show because this show was good. I mean, even with the switching around and stuff and the questions being asked and not answered, it was amazing. So it started with some critic, name. What was his name? Orlando's Sakishi, Sheen, whatever. This creepy critic gave them such a bad review at their concert. There was a lot of mistakes. Valeria fell through the hole, something, and they got Brianna on the phone talking to the baby, singing lullabies to make her go to sleep and all kind of craziness. I said, wait a minute, what? Oh, and Jill forgot her lyrics and in the middle of the concert. So it was jacked up, their concert, and they went out there unprepared, basically. So they're sitting there talking about, what, how are we going to come back from this? They're trying to find a way to come back from all of that went down. So they decide that they probably need a new name and stuff and new music. And Naomi wants the name to stay the same, and Eric thinks it's a tough thing to change it as well. So they are like, okay, they're debating about it and stuff. And Brianna and Jill seem to really not want that name anymore. Valeria was hanging on to it. She didn't care. Naomi didn't care. But they both did. The church girl and the mother. They have a reason to not want to stick with some nasty bitch's name. Like, let's be real. So they have a wrap off because they started discussing, they get into an argument and start discussing that basically Naomi does all the writing and stuff. This is how it always goes. They said, why, that's the problem. Why you got to always go that way? Why can't we have input too? And she was telling them how it goes, and that they're jealous of her and all this stuff with that day. So they had to wrap off Battle, and they get a little nasty with some of their rhymes. And I think Naomi started first getting nasty because Brianna had said something. She said some stuff, but it wasn't mean spirit or anything. Because Jill had already told them to be nice, but that didn't happen. So basically, Naomi won about the first two lines, and then it was like winner takes all. And Brianna went in. Brianna went in with no music. With no music. She said, cut the music on the third round. And she lays into Naomi. I was like, oh, snap. Everybody's like, ooh, she got stank with it. I said, ooh. I was like, okay, that's all that. I mean, I was enjoying that rap off. I'm telling you, I know y'all all were too. So Naomi gets mad and she walks out. And they said, see, why you got to be like that? You hear Valeria, why you got to be like that? And she walked out. But she's admitting that she told them, I gave up my solo career to be with y'all. So she thought her goal was going to be, she was going to be writing the songs. You know what I mean? So if they all write and she doesn't get to do much of her, get a chance to do much writing, which she would have had a chance to do with her own career. So I understand her getting upset about that a little bit, but walking out, some of her rhymes was really funky. I don't know if they were jealous of her or not. I don't know, but they all said they could rhyme. So the deal was whoever wins, if Brianna had won, if Naomi had won, she would do all the writing like before. If Brianna won, they all get a say and get to write raps. So that's what they all did. And it showed all of them. This episode went through all of their lives separately. It did Brianna, then Jill, then Naomi, and then Valeria. And then they put them all together at the end. So that's why I like the way they did this and broke it up. So they show Brianna, and she's at home, and she gets a call from her child's school and to come in and discuss the language her daughter's been using. I think it's her daughter that was using the B word, because the name of the group was Nasty Bitches, and the principal or whoever it is had had the nameplate she had Nasty Bitches on it, right? And she's twisting it around looking at it. And while Brianna's trying to talk to the principal, in comes her husband, Jeff. She's like, what are you doing here? He said, yeah, I got the same call you got. So he get in here, and I think he's a professor, right, y'all? He comes in there and lays into them using all of these big words and making them feel terrible. He made them white people feel like they are racist. Basically, that's how it sounded to me. And he told them about her nameplate and the group, and she won Grammys, and it's an expression of art. It is art, and that's art too. And after the meeting, they was laughing at everything, and they go out and have a drink afterwards. And he said, I meant every word I said about you, And then he took her to some place, and he opened up. He had a keg that they had been saving with bourbon in it. And they were supposed to drink it on their 20th anniversary. 20th. So I think they are, 16 years in, I think they were. So what happens is, he was like, why wait till then? Let's do it now. So that's what they do. They go and drink the bourbon now, and it had their wedding date on it and everything. That was really nice. And she's like, can you drink now? And he was like, I don't know. And they're laughing. And he said, I don't know, but why wait? Let's do it now, So while they were out having a good time drinking and stuff, the mistress calls. And she said, really? This girl going to call you and stuff? He said, I can't stop her from calling because she was a student, I guess, or whatever. I can't control that. He said, I didn't even remember who she was until 2 days ago. I didn't know who she was. And she said, are you just lying to me or what? So it killed their vibe. they go home, and he's slowly getting back his memory. And she told him about seeing a divorce lawyer, and she states about the sacrifices she made for him and everything. And the divorce lawyer said it could get real nasty. You have to really be ready to fight and do this. If that's what you're going to do, you're going to have to be ready to fight, because divorces are not easy. So make sure you want to keep this family. You don't want to make sure you definitely don't want to have a choice to make this marriage work. And so, he was like, "You really gonna leave me?" He was like, he couldn't believe it. But I was shocked with all those sacrifices she made, for him and the family, and putting her dreams and aspirations on hold. She said she wanted to be a professor as well. So he asked her to give him the answer now. He needed to know right now, you going to willing to give me another chance, or you going to get rid of me and divorce me and stuff, and he was like, "I swear it never happened again." And it cuts off. We don't know what she decides. Then when, commercial break come, and it comes back, and it's about Jill. And Jill is doing an interview with some gay magazine, I think it is, or something, whatever. And I don't know what type. It was something like that. She's told that she's the hottest lesbian out now, or something like that. She's like, "Really? I don't know nothing about that," and stuff. And so she's asking her all these questions during the interview. She finds out she has a girlfriend. Really? Oh my God. She said, what's wrong with that? Because first they mentioned her husband, and she said, "I thought he's an innocent person. I don't want him in this." Okay, we won't mention him. And then she tells her she has a girlfriend, and I think she told her name was Tina and stuff. And the interviewer was like, "Oh my gosh, that's terrible." She said, "Why?" She's like, "Your viewers, all those people out there, the people who are your fans or something, they'll be so jealous or devastated to learn that," or something she was saying. So after the interview, this woman, looking as beautiful, she was good looking too. She invites Jill out to meet these other lesbians and stuff, and they all laugh and talk about they all basically dated each other. What the hell? Y'all just sleeping around with everybody, spreading stuff, or what? I don't know what she was trying to say about that. How I guess they just group stuff, maybe threesomes. I don't know. I don't know. But she was learning their lingo, how they talk and what certain things meant, or sayings and stuff. And then after this night of having so much fun with these lesbians and dancing and just eating and drinking or whatever, she goes home and starts writing or to the hotel, wherever she's staying there, start writing some her rhymes. And her girlfriend Tina calls, but she doesn't answer it. She ignores the call because she's trying to get these rhymes in her head. Then the interviewer texts her. I thought it was her girlfriend, but it was the interviewer. And she smiled to go hang out. She texted to go hang out with them. And when Jill arrives, it's just the interviewer. She said, "Well, where's everybody at?" "Oh, you know how lesbians are. We don't always, show up. Sometimes." I was like, what? What is she saying? So I think she did that on purpose. That's what we learned. She did it on purpose. They was never coming. She lied to her to get her there alone. And she immediately, after Jill sat down, she couldn't have been sitting 5 minutes. The interviewer's hands was all on Jill's thigh. And Jill was like, "Oh my God, like sitting there and fidgeting and stuff." And she finally jumps up and she gets nervous and she runs out. She said she was going to the bathroom, but I think she just left all the way. So she's home on the phone, and she talks to Tina because she just want to hear her voice. I think she just wanted to reassure, because she must have gotten some feelings from that hand touch. And with Tina, and she's on the phone with her, and the doorbell rings. And when she opened it, it's the interviewer. And Tina's like, "Who's that?" And she said, "Oh, nobody, just room service." And they let her in the room, and it ends like that. So we're left like with these little cliffhangers. Then Naomi meets her daughter at the airport, and she's trying to get her out into some kind of ritzy school or something, I think it is. And she's telling her to go introduce herself to the other students, and they're at this like bougie place with everybody's nose is up in the air, even the kids, and the boys were messing with JoJo and not being nice to her and saying things. And what's her name walks over. Naomi walks over, and they're like, "Oh, this your mom?" And they said some kind of smart remark about that too. So she wanted to give up. She was already, JoJo was not feeling that place and stuff. She was up there practicing and practicing her number and practicing in this room. I don't know where that piano was where she was practicing. It was a beautiful baby grand. And she wanted to give up. And, Naomi was trying to give her encouragement, and she lashed out at her moms, and Naomi got upset and walked out and told her good luck, because I think she even mentioned something about her not knowing who her father was and all this stuff. So Naomi walked out, but later came back. She sat in the car for a minute and later came back with some new shoes for JoJo. And I think it was a new outfit too, but I think it was just shoes. No. And then she gets to the recital and she kills it. JoJo killed it at that recital. She was mixing, I'm just making up names. I'm not sure what she was playing. But I'm like, she was mixing Mozart and Tchaikovsky or something, with some little bit of hip hop in their songs, and ended with her mom's group's lyrics from the Sexy Bitches. I was like, what? I mean, she tore it up. It was all that. And you could see the white people in the audience like, ooh, what's that? Because first they were smiling when it was the Mozart or whatever. And then it's like, what the freak? What is that? And they're frowning and stuff. And when she finished, Naomi was so shocked. She was surprised, and she jumped up clapping, and all the white people sitting there. She said, what, y'all not going to clap for my daughter? And she said, y'all not going to clap for my daughter? And I was like, damn, that's so messed up. They sure didn't. But JoJo goes out there and talks to her, and after the recital, and Naomi's like, that was so awesome. She loved it and stuff. And she said, not only was it awesome, Mom, I got in. So they told her she made it into the school, which was great. I was like, oh, yay. I was so happy. And but her mother told her, you got to show her not Black Pride. What did she say? Black, oh gosh, I forgot the word. Something like Black Star Power, something like that. So, from Naomi, from Atlanta. You coming from Atlanta, show them what you got up in here. Show them what you got up in New York. And she did it. She did it. She went there. I think it was in New York, the school, right? And then she's talking to her mom, and she asks, does she really not know who her father is, or she just like trying to protect her from him or something like that, and keeping it from him? And she's like, look, she's just she don't tell us then. It leaves it hanging just like that because it left us hanging. So I'm wondering, what's she going to tell her? What's she going to tell her? And then it goes to Valeria. She goes to Eric for help writing her verses. He asks his artist. He said he always asks his artists if they have a voice, or something to say. And she was like, yeah, I do, but I don't know how to write anything. So they get in the studio, and he's pulling up some of her old raps from back in the days, and she has nothing to say, So he's like, let's go out and eat. He takes her out to clear her head to a Puerto Rican restaurant, and they eat and dance and everything. So then, but when he was playing the old tapes, but then as they was dancing and stuff, he asks her something about missing Queens. Do she miss Queens? So I'm assuming, I know they was in Queens, New York at one point. So I think that's what they were talking about. So she was like, yeah. So they go back to his house, and he tells her it's time to put in the work. I think she wanted to leave, like it was like they were done for the night or something. But he's like, no, he's trying to put in work. And she starts doing her thing, her raps in the studio. And I guess she was doing good. Eric was happy. And next thing you know, he was feeling all nostalgic, as she put it. And he was kissing her. And he makes her, he makes a move on her, to try to sleep with her, I think. And she wasn't having it. And she's like, no, she's not turning back. Never again. Only looking forward, he said. So she said something about, he said, I think you would have been a great mother, or something like that. She said she didn't want to be one and she doesn't regret her decision. So I'm assuming she was pregnant by him and had an abortion. That's what I'm getting from that. Then it ended with the queens. This was the best part. This was awesome. They all met up and they were all wearing black, and Eric shows up and say, y'all ready to do your thing, you know. And Naomi starts off. She starts spitting her rhymes, and you know they always talking about their life and stuff. And she was thinking about her daughter and everything. And the last question that her daughter left her, that and so we learned her answer to JoJo's question, which basically she said, you know, I'm just getting to know you. Please give me some time, you know, something like that. And I was like, what kind of damn answer was that? But that's what she gave her daughter. Then they had show Valeria spitting her rhymes, and while she was thinking about the group and Eric and stuff, then Brianna, she goes and she's thinking about her kids and her husband, you know, family. And we learned her answer to her husband's question, because remember I said he wanted to know, was he couldn't wait. Is she going to divorce him or whatever? And she put her ring on a nightstand, so she was ready to divorce him. And then Jill goes next, and she was thinking about Tina and this reporter who was putting the moves on her. And we learned that they made out. She grabbed the reporter's hand and took her to the back of the hotel room or wherever she's living or something. I don't know. We don't know where Jill is living because she ain't from there. She went out to see her girls, so I'm assuming she's staying in the hotel. So we found out they made out. I said, oh man, she cheated on Tina. She was so in love with her. She already cheating on her. And then it ended with Valeria saying, independent woman, if you're an independent woman, put your hands up. If you're a good woman, put your hands up in the air. They was like, oh, they was in the studio rocking. All of them was just tearing it up. They was tearing it up. And Eric said, this is going to be murder. It's just going to murder the radio or something like that. And then it hits Naomi. She's like, that's it. Queens. We'll be queens. And they were like, queens forever. She said, no longer nasty bitches. So they were like queens forever, and that was that. But then it ended with JoJo not JoJo. Eric is listening to something, some rhymes or something, and I don't know where it was from. Was it from their battle they just had or from before? And JoJo, he hears it, and it's a line saying something about playing house with a man and something with a baby growing inside or something like that. And Valeria walked in and heard it. Now, how did she just get in this man's house? I don't know. So we thinking it was Cam because Cam came to her. Remember, she even saw that while she was rhyming. She saw Cam asking, is JoJo my daughter? You know. So we never saw what she said to him. But then Valeria asked him. And he's just like, what? And then Brianna decides to try and make it work. She did this whole speech talking to her husband, and I was looking at him. I said, he don't look like he's moving. His eyes look like they half open. And she did all of this talking to him, and she said she is willing to make their marriage work. And she's talking to him. She said, so you ain't got nothing to say. You just gonna leave me and not say nothing. And she hit him, and that man, she said, oh my God, he was cold. He was dead. I was so brokenhearted. I was so broken. And all she could do is curl up next to him. And I said it might have had something to do with that bourbon. He might not have supposed to have had it. But then they did see a bottle of pills next to the bedside. And I'm wondering, did he kill himself because she left her ring? Did that man kill himself and feel he has no reason to live? Because to me, after what he did to her, cheating on her and stuff, he should have been able to take that little bit. Just take it a little bit. And ask her another day. Give her a chance to cool down. You know what I mean? But that's how it ended. It broke my heart like that. And we see what's going to happen next week. You know, Eric goes and asks, is JoJo my father? And JoJo's right there. JoJo my daughter. And JoJo's right there. And then it's the funeral for her husband. for Brianna's husband. This is going to be such a sad episode, I'm sure. But I hope you guys like this episode as much as I do. Please do me a favor and put it down in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about it. I thought it was a great episode and I enjoyed it thoroughly. This your girl Barbie J saying peace.